Have you ever watched a scene in a movie or TV show and felt sad or scared or laughed out loud without quite being able to explain why? It's not an accident. Everything in the scene was chosen to evoke that emotion you felt. Today, we're going to explore how filmmakers create scenes to evoke those feelings from their audience through symbolic codes. In our last video, we talked about codes and conventions, the tools filmmakers use to affect the emotions or reactions to the actions on the screen. Today, we'll begin breaking down those codes and conventions. In literary analysis, we focus on authors' choices, the choices an author makes about plot, character, literary devices, tone, mood, and all the rest. But in film analysis, there are many more people involved: the director, the camera person, costumers, set designers, and so on. So while the director may be heading the project, each of the others is a specialist for their department, and all of these people work together to come up with a specific feel for the film, and they work together to achieve that vision. We call this group of people filmmakers. As we go forward in the next few videos, I will be using this term, filmmakers, to refer to all of the people involved in making a film. Also, when we analyze film, we use something called SWOT codes rather than a group of literary devices. SWOT stands for symbolic, written, audio, and technical codes to break down the 4 ways filmmakers actually communicate with their audience. Today, we're focusing on the first one, symbolic codes. You already know what a symbol is from analyzing literature, an object that represents an idea. But in film, every visual element is a choice and helps convey the filmmaker's ideas. Simply put, symbolic codes are the visual elements in a film that carry a deeper meaning beyond what's literally on the screen. Everything from setting to props to costumes, even body language, serves as a kind of visual shorthand to tell us about the characters, themes, and emotions without ever saying a word. Let's start with costumes. Each item of clothing is chosen to let the audience know something about the character. We recognize the type of person often by their clothing. We base this on archetypes of film and, to a certain extent, our stereotypes. Costume designers are responsible for making sure the character's clothing reflects the characteristics of that person, their personality, their social status, and even their emotional state. Even subtle choices, like whether a character's clothes are neat or disheveled, can tell an audience something important. Along with costuming is body language. The way people stand, move, hold their head, or cross their arms tells you a lot about them. Actors plan all of this. They work with the director to make sure that they are projecting the character in a way that works with the director's vision. Now let's talk about setting and props. Setting in film is exactly the same as setting in literature. It includes the time, place, and environment in which the story takes place. This includes the era, the location, the time of day, and even the overall atmosphere of the scene. A location is never just a location. Set designers know that the audience will make a lot of assumptions about a place and the people in that place based on its appearance. They spend a lot of time designing the details of each location so that the audience makes the right assumptions. For example, in the movie Titanic, we recognize the time period by the way people are dressed, the style of the rooms, the furniture, the lighting, and even the language characters use. Props, short for property, are any object a character might interact with on the screen. Think of a weapon, a phone, a coffee cup, a photograph on the mantelpiece. Property masters are responsible for sourcing and managing every single one of these objects, making sure they're accurate and appropriate for the world of the story. A period drama set in the 1800s, for example, can't have a character pull out a smartphone. But beyond just getting the details right, props can also carry symbolic weight. A character who clutches a locket, or obsessively cleans a gun, or carefully tends to a dying houseplant is telling you something about who they are and what they care about, without saying a word. Filmmakers borrow these associations because they're deeply ingrained in us as audiences, and they work every time. Symbolic codes are one of the filmmaker's most powerful tools. Props and costumes reveal who the characters are and what they want. Setting establishes tone and emotional context. Body language communicates what characters feel without them ever opening their mouths. Next up, we'll look at written codes and how text on screen does a lot more work than you might think. Have a great day.